How's it going, people? Jack here with another video. So today I have been recommended highly and almost spammed by multitude of people, but one especially, to react to Command & Conquer General 0 Hour Rise of the Reds. I do know of the Command & Conquer series. I used to be a huge fan of Red Alert 3. Not because I played it, but because I got to see a lot of the cutscenes back when in the Ned Cafe era, where I would still attend there with some of my friends after school, where we would play Battlefield 2. Now, I'm not too sure if the franchise continues, because the last time I heard of anything Command & Conquer was back at that one specific E3 when it got turned into a mobile game and everybody went apeshit crazy and hated it.
Look how they massacred my boy.
Which is well justified. EA turned it into a mess. And yeah, I don't know if it's going to receive a revival, but I have actually downloaded Red Alert 3 and be playing that. At least I have bought it. I'll be playing that a bit later. But let's jump into today's video.
Defeat the enemies of freedom with chemical warfare, suicide bombers, and slave labor. Arm an angry mob with AK-47s. Employ propaganda centers. Exercise utter military superiority.
That's
employ weapons of mass destruction.
C'est Soulstorm.
And enjoy the wonders of a great game from a simpler time, where game devs could throw pretty much anything in a video game without worry of absolute financial ruin.
Our victorious forces continue their
The war was over.
America and China reporting several Tensions are high. Senseless American aggression once more fills the sky.
Our premier again denied involvement.
The military had the fragmented Global Liberation Army on the run. Groups humiliating America by
Oh, the polygons.
and raiding its weapons of mass destruction. Further transmission may be difficult.
All right. Let's get it.
This is Command & Conquer General 0 Hour. Experience butter-smooth, hard-locked 30 FPS gameplay in sweltering 800 by 600 resolution on EA's highly regarded Origin platform with 2003 game design and dreadful graphics.
Origins is the worst launcher of all times. I dare even, some may find it mildly better, but the Bethesda launcher, which of course they gave up on and now everything's on Steam, but still, Origin sucks.
By modern standards. I tried messing with the game files to make it run in 1080p 60 FPS, but the game mechanics are locked to the frame rate and it really messes the game up.
Quick question, those who may be watching this who may have played another RTS in the called Dawn of War, yes, I'm trying to play through that. Is there a way to avoid having the black bars? I looked into the forum for a way to edit the resolution without it stretching out the stuff, but yeah, didn't work.
The resolution doesn't actually change, it just stretches the game to your whole screen to achieve a widescreen resolution, in which case I personally prefer these black bars. Zero Hour was my childhood, and definitely my most formative RTS game, but you can definitely tell it's a 15-year-old game. The first thing I noticed is how the graphics look like complete doo-doo. But what about the gameplay? Does it hold up?
We will cleanse them from our land.
Wow. Why are they so confused? Whoa!
I guess, for this video,
Yo!
I tried installing the community mod, Rise of the Reds, which provides a whopping 2 additional factions, the tank-heavy Russian Federation and the defense-oriented European Continental Alliance. It greatly expands and redesigns the game in a variety of ways, as Russia deploys Schmel troopers,
Oh
Tesla
no.
coils, and the one-man army known as Boris.
Boris! Oh my god, I'll tell you a story of a
The
Boris
captive
later.
Pigs are hurting for a squirtin'. Activate the glorious Tremor AGAS.
Damn.
In my humble opinion, it's easily the coolest super weapon in the game. The
It looks
European
cool.
Continental Alliance is unplayable, both because if you play an RTS game defensively, you're actually a stage 4 bibliotech cretin who needs to stop coping and start roping. But more so because you'd have to listen to your god-awful culturally diverse troops throughout the whole process.
Come on, I'm not paid by the hour.
Where's the party?
Was that an attempt at a Scottish accent?
You just love cracking that whip, don't ya?
Who's signing these contracts?
Everything's ready for you, senor.
Infantry, here. We'll
Oh, wait, what?
stop them dead in the truck, sir. Don't worry, we got this. Where's a panda when you need one?
Yet,
I'm sorry. Did they have like one voice actor trying to do all the voices? It sounds like me when I try to record something and I have to change my voice. At least like, hi, not a guy.
and there's plenty of cool ways you could have implemented Europe into an RTS game. That's not one of them. As for 0 Hour without the mod, play as the US.
I'll build anywhere. Get into work. Make my own road. I'll build anywhere. Sorry, I can't build there.
Oh no.
Ooh, can't do that.
Specking into either weapons of mass destruction, laser technology, or aerial superiority. Alternatively, play as China, further specializing in tanks, nuclear weapons,
Oh wow.
or infantry divisions. Or walk the path of liberty and justice. Play as the Global Liberation Army, specializing in either camouflage, toxic weaponry, or bombs and explosives.
GLA Postal Service. Nothing stops the mail.
There's some funny ass shit in this game.
GLA.
Dare put in a game nowadays. For example, when you play as China or the US, you have these big powerful machines making all your structures for you. But when you play as the GLA, it's just this one little guy without shoes. It doesn't exactly give me the impression that this work is voluntary.
Slave labor.
Hard work. Can I have some shoes? This may be painful. Do not hurt me. I will obey. I'm just a peasant. I'm hungry. Oh, okay, I will work. If I really have to. Okay, here I go.
You'll push this impoverished, poor little guy to build an entire missile silo all by himself. If he serves you well, you can even buy him the shoes he keeps asking for on the black
Ready for
market,
work.
which will in turn make him work even harder.
I like my new shoes. These shoes fit
Black Air
nicely.
Force energy.
Thank you for the new shoes.
It's actually one of the best upgrades in the game. All of your legally employed workers work
Right.
twice as fast for only $1,000. You make off like a bandit. There are, however, laborers that don't accept their lot in life, and as such, they're entirely unfit to fight for our cause.
Will I be treated with dignity? Cannot we live in peace? It is better to surrender than stay here.
Don't get me wrong. As a fellow servant of peace, I'm no fan of Dr. Thrax, iron-fisted ruler of the GLA Toxin Division, or holy prophet resting upon his golden throne, praise be his soul. But when someone says something heretical, like sacrifice 1,000 soldiers a day to clear the enemy landmines, the correct response is, where do I find these landmines? Not
Normal
to assume
scenario
the
for a
worst
40k
and
fan.
shoot. That's how civil discourse dies. By the way, this game is entirely banned in China, which
Makes
is
sense.
completely justified. That is my own opinion, and I wish prosperity upon the motherland.
Yeah, right.
Please don't blacklist me from China. More interestingly, this game was outright banned in Germany due to the then imminent Iraq war. The Bundessportfälle for Jugendfahrende Medien put the game onto the list of media harmful to young people.
Yeah, okay. Well, Germany has a bit of a history with that when it comes to war games.
To get around the ban, in 2003 EA released a localized German version specifically for the German market called Command and Conquer General.
Oh my god. What alteration do they have?
Every unit in the game is now
Robots!
and the suicide bomber was replaced with this vehicle. To really sell the robot units, they put this reverb effect over all the voices. Luckily, I live right next to Germany in a third world country known as Denmark, so
Fellow
I'm a
Dane.
full-time employee of the GLA Postal Service.
Okay, look, a thing where I got a bit confused when it said GLA. Of course, the Alliance, I didn't think of that. but we have a postal service in Denmark called GLS. And it just got me thinking. Just your average postal guy, the delivery boy or whatever, shows up at your door. So, you got the package? Yep, here it is. Praise be the Holy Land. Oh god, that was dark. Anyways, yeah, that was the confusion.
Just in general, the voice lines in this game are borderline fucking comedy.
They cannot destroy China!
My hands have splinters.
I'll disguise myself as a vehicle.
We're going down! We will turn them into soup.
I love this new technology.
I am alone.
Hold on, everybody.
I need protection.
I cannot guarantee their safety.
Die! Bow to China.
Turn them into mud.
Will you not let me die honorably?
This was not the plan.
I just wanted to borrow a car.
Minigunner reporting for duty.
They are disabled.
You, out of my bus.
Nowhere to hide.
I'm unarmed. Leave me alone, you bully.
Please, no!
Yeah, I manually extracted and went through 1900 sound files for the units in this game.
Bruh.
Just for that. And I don't regret the way I spent my time. I think it's quite fulfilling, to be honest. I'd say the meat of the gameplay is either playing skirmishes against CPUs or other people. As with most RTS games, that's the structural foundation of what makes the game. The skirmishes hold up even 15 years after the game's release. On hard, this game is a serious challenge, and with Rise of the Reds, you can beat the game on
aesthetic
brutal,
of
which... Yeah. CPUs and RTSs have always been very janky, and this game is no exception. Here, I've disguised a dozen bomb trucks as American bulldozers. Don't mind the fact that you guys have literally one bulldozer and that I'm running over all your soldiers. It's probably just an accident. Then one of these 15 bulldozers
what?
out to be a hidden bomb truck.
Bruv.
Devastated your base. The other 14 are still nothing to worry about.
Okay, mates. Listen here. Let me introduce you to an additional 20 of them bulldozers right here. Listen here, buddy. During warfare, we do not care about counting, especially when doing war crimes.
One lesson I learned the hard way is that if you're gonna spend every last hard-earned dinar of your war funds on one final assault, it's a fatal error to have all the bomb trucks next to each other.
A warrior has fallen.
That was the day the mail didn't arrive. Same goes for the suicide bombers. Don't do what I did.
He saved.
Understanding some of the units can give you a pretty insane advantage. Against infantry, the sniper is extremely overpowered. They can easily take out 20 men in 10 seconds, then go back to being stealthed. With a sniper in a Humvee, and you can actually take them to fucking Sprinkle Town. Every faction suits a different playstyle. My favorite is the GLA, as they're optimal for rush, where you try to run down your enemies as fast as possible. The GLA structures don't require power, and your holy empire operates on cheap labor. Suicide bombers and bomb trucks are unironically phenomenal at fucking people
no.
in the game. Add in promotion abilities that give you cash equivalent to a percentage of every unit or building you destroy.
That's so wrong.
Wide sneak attack, and the most overpowered super weapon in the game. Now we're talking. For a game that's 15 years old, it's extremely aware,
Nuked
both
with
culturally
chemicals.
and politically. The overarching themes of the campaign are still very relevant to this day. It's set in the near future. The United States and People's Republic of China are the world's two superpowers.
Makes
They're
sense.
the targets of the Global Liberation Army, an omnipresent, borderless terrorist organization fighting as a fanatical, irregular force. When you play as a faction, you see their side of the war. Whether that's securing your borders and building a glorious empire for China, or acquiring cash by raiding United Nations convoys, as well as causing mass riots. Or deploying the US military in Iraq, Yemen, and eventually Kazakhstan to liberate the countries from GLA control. The base game actually ends with the GLA succeeding, and the expansion ends with China liberating Europe from the incursion. I'm surprised that the actual storyline of this 15-year-old game is politically relevant today. I'm not even trying to make an edgy joke or whatever. Like, seriously.
It's kind of on the nose there.
Modern-day political climate. But let's talk a bit more about the gameplay. This is Zero Hour at its best. Once you familiarize yourself with the majority of the mechanics in play, and you're no longer painstakingly waiting for one unit to finish its actions. Nah. You're building your base whilst moving your armies. You're also doing everything you can to secure war funds and oil derricks, whilst simultaneously launching an aerial assault to take out the enemy super weapons.
Yo, they've got... Was that a space laser? They got a thing from Akira. That's cool.
Warning, sneak attack detected.
Our base is taking our base. They built a tunnel network inside our base without us knowing it.
Oh shit. I'll admit it. I'm having a good time here. This is fucking gameplay. I played the expansion campaigns for all 3 factions, and completing them took me roughly 15 hours. Once you actually understand the game, I'd estimate 3 to 4 hours per campaign. The missions are nothing exceptional, and I think it's a better tool to get into the game than anything else. Going back to this game over 10 years after I played it originally kinda killed some of the nostalgia I had for it. It's very dated. There's no way to skip cutscenes, so remember to save all the time. This game runs in full screen, and if you tab out, it's very likely to crash. You will accidentally tab out of it if you use your mouse to move the camera. Even in the unlikely event that it doesn't crash, it often just opens up with no audio, which will require a restart anyways. There's plenty of community mods to fix a lot of these problems. Unfortunately, none of them work with the way EA and Origin reorganized the in-game files. In the campaign, many of the levels are extremely linear, and I don't like that. There's one certain way of completing the mission. You can choose to do it in a different way, which just means doing it slower. In general, a lot of the missions play super slow. There's this one mission where every enemy base is stealthed, and you just gotta scour the whole map with radar vans. Perhaps you'd like to defend against waves of enemies.
Yo, what the hell?
90% of the mission is just waiting. It isn't challenging on any level, and level design has come a long way in 15 years. Here, they just give you half an hour to disable these 2 missile silos and put a bunch of annoying shit in the way. I forgot to save throughout the mission and captured the last silo literally a second too late, so I had to do that over.
Building capture complete. This was not the plan.
The point I'm trying to make is that by no means is this intuitive game design. To stretch the game out, they made these missions that just take way too long. I don't like when game developers confuse a game taking long.
Yeah, kind of like the GW method.
For these trucks to very slowly carry
every single turn takes like forever to play
through. This American plane you're hijacking. Wait.
I almost said it. It's kind of recent.
We will get our revenge, you filthy Americans.
Yeah, you wouldn't get away with that in 2019.
No, in 2021.
The campaign is pretty underwhelming, and the game certainly isn't pretty. But you gotta remember that this is a 15-year-old game. If you compare Generals to other RTS games released in 2003, like Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne, it actually looks quite polished. In fact, it looks better than the vast majority of games released that year.
Look here, MAGA, or as we say, that it means body in Danish. It's with a K, double K. Yes, it is. Anyways, Frozen Throne is iconic. Yeah, I give it to him. It's an ugly game. It looks like trash, but it's so good.
Visually speaking, this game doesn't look terrible. It just looks old. Skirmishes against other people or CPUs is the real content of the game though. And if you can look past some of the flaws, there's a pretty rewarding and unique RTS experience underneath. Whether you want to globalize Marxism, listen to terrible impressions of European accents, propagate aggressive capitalism, defend the values of the motherland, or liberate the West, this game certainly has a playstyle that you'd enjoy.
You're right.
After over 30 hours on this game, I then found out you can spin the camera. That would have been fucking good to know. I rate Command & Conquer General.
That's typical.
Don't out of play it. With an added footnote. If you actually want to bother experiencing this game the way you're meant to, download and install Rise of the Reds up to patch 1.86. It works with the game on Origin and the other version, which I trust you definitely installed from the game CD you had laying around. I included a link to an install guide which includes the download links for everything you'll need in the description. If you manage to play it without any major performance issues, I suggest you buy a lottery ticket. If you can't be bothered with all that shit just to experience a 15-year-old
at 30
game,
FPS,
but you still want an old
more
school
like 3.
RTS experience, I point you towards Tiberian Sun and Red Alert 2. Those are both fantastic games. If you want a more modern Command & Conquer experience, check out Red Alert 3.
Yeah,
to come soon.
I'll play that one soon.
It's not about whether or not it would be optimal for your war funds. It's about whether or not he's earned those fucking shoes.
That was pretty good. A fellow Dane. I'll subscribe. Yeah, it's always well appreciated when it is that it's always interesting when a game is able to predict. Well, not predict. I mean, most games are able to have with a little bit of knowledge of geopolitics and all, can kind of tell you where things are headed. That's pretty good. And just a little bit of additional stuff regarding the Boris story. So Back in school, when I had to learn Danish, when I was 11 years old, I was in a class with like multitudes of ethnicities, both Asians, Northern Africans. We had an American guy as well as some Eastern Europeans and 2 Western Europeans also. But then we had a girl called Yana, who was from Ukraine, as you will call it, Ukraine, and a guy named Boris from Russia. And Yana, she was like this cutesy blonde girl wearing trumpet jeans with knitted tops, and she always had braces. But she ate spiders. Look, I know the kids do dumb stuff, but I've never seen a kid eat spiders. That scared me. But Boris was a big guy. He was a chunk, right? You know like big chunkers, but imagine big chunkers like with muscles. But just the face. The face is like puffy and stuff. But yeah, Boris was big. And we are all there having to learn the language. So most of us can somewhat a bit of English. Not everybody could. Now, English was like partially my native language, so I could it. But not everybody could. And the way that we sometimes responded when we would try to communicate with one another was fun. So Boris, of course, will do the typical one, right? The stereotypical. Like, Boris, do you mind helping me with something? Duh. He said that and I got chills down my spine. It's like, this is just like what I saw in movies. So yeah, I guess whenever you hear a Boris coming around, it's just a little bit scary. But with that said though, guys, thank you so much for checking out this video, and if you liked it, you know what to do. Hit that like and or subscribe button. Of course, go and subscribe here to UberDanger. Nice video of his part, and also check some of his video out. With that said though, I wish you all to have a wonderful day. See you guys next time. Bye.